Christianity is facing an existential threat in Nigeria. Thousands and thousands of Christians are being killed. Radical Islamists are responsible for this mass slaughter. I am hereby making Nigeria a country of particular concern. That's a legal definition. When the Christians or any such group is slaughtered, like is happening in Nigeria, 3,100 versus 4,476 worldwide. What horrible numbers. Something has to be done. I am asking Congressman Riley Moore, together with Chairman Tom Cole and the House Appropriations Committee, to immediately look into this matter and to report back to me. And I mean, like, immediately. We're going to do things to Nigeria that Nigeria is not going to be happy about and may very well go into that now disgraced country, guns a-blazing, to completely wipe out the Islamic terrorists who are committing these horrible, horrible atrocities. I'm hereby instructing our Department of War to prepare for possible action. If we attack, it will be fast, vicious, and sweet, just like the terrorist thugs attack our cherished Christians. The United States cannot stand by while such atrocities are happening in Nigeria and numerous other countries. It's not only Nigeria, it's all over. We stand ready, willing, and able to save our great Christian population around the world. This is not going to happen. The killing of Christians is not going to happen.
Well, this latest statement by Trump suggests that his administration remains unconvinced by Nigerian rebuttals and may proceed with threatened sanctions or even military actions. Well, Ted Cruz has been talking, and I'll read his post on X yesterday. It reads, Joe Biden turned a blind eye while radical Islamic terrorists slaughtered Christians in Nigeria. I am very grateful to President Trump for designating it a country of particular concern. Now, we should take the next step and hold Nigerian officials accountable. I intend to be very explicit about who they are in the coming days and weeks. Meanwhile, the federal government of Nigeria, during a press conference in Abuja on Wednesday, accused foreign lobbyists of fueling the narrative of a Christian genocide in Nigeria. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, stated that government findings point to a network of external actors, particularly in the United States, deliberately promoting divisive and misleading portrayals of Nigeria's security challenges. Idris emphasized that while the administration recognizes insecurity has affected many communities, there is no evidence supporting claims of systematic targeting of any religious groups. Let's take a look.
We can say that, for example, Nigerian government has been able to have a correlation between some of these lobbies operating especially in the United States of America and the activities here. We have seen, and it's a matter of public record. If you go to the records of the United States, there is what is called the Foreign Agents Registration Act. It is clear there. You have seen that some of the influencers of these criminal activities have direct relationship with lobbyists in the US who have direct relationship with some of the people who are shouting about this issue outside this country.
Well, guys, this federal government's allegation of foreign lobbying adds, another dimension to the genocide debate. He's suggesting that, external interests may be manipulating Nigeria's internal security narrative for undisclosed purposes. In the same vein, senior advocate of Nigeria, Femi Falana, accused Donald Trump of lying to the world over allegations of Christian genocide in Nigeria. While speaking on live television, the human rights lawyer strongly rejected Trump's claims, stating that Trump lied without any evidence to back it up. Let's take a look.
Now, I'm going to look at the problem from the human rights perspective, not a diplomat. And my own position is that Mr. Trump has lied to the whole world by alleging Christian genocide in Nigeria. So it's a lie without any evidence to back it up. Now, he said about 3,100 people have been killed, Christians have been killed in Nigeria. It's unfortunate and nobody can support even the killing of a citizen of this country.
Falana now joins other prominent figures to reject the genocide narrative. Before I come to you, I'll take this. Well, on February 14th, 2024, Bishop Wilfred Chikpa Anaigbe of the Catholic Diocese of Makurdi made serious allegations before the United States Congress alleging systematic killings of Christians farming communities in Benue State, claiming that over 1,000 Christians had been killed, over 160 churches destroyed, and large swaths of land seized in the past decade. The bishop also testified on March 12, 2025, before the U.S. House Foreign Affairs Subcommittee on Africa, accompanied by Reverend Father Remigius Iluha. Let's take a look.
Constitutionally, we are a secular country, but our unity has been fragile Political and religious actions and even public speech have been carefully managed to avoid accusations of religious bias. A long-term Islamic agenda to homogenize the population has been implemented over several presidencies through a strategy to reduce and eventually eliminate the Christian identity of half of the population. The quest to Islamize the land appears high on the agenda of some of the powerful and influential Muslims in Nigeria. There is a campaign to take land to spread Islam, and there is the hemorrhaging of Christian farmers from the central region of Nigeria and Benue State and Makurdi diocese in particular, as they are forced to abandon fertile lands that used to feed the nation, which classify Benue as the food basket of the nation. Militant Fulani herdsmen are terrorists destroying society. They steal and vandalize, they kill and boast about it. They kidnap and rape, and they enjoy total impunity from the elected authorities. None of them have been arrested and brought to justice. This is supported by the corrupt system in which we operate and the abject poverty among us, which allow the criminals to easily attract more recruits and prey on more victims. At the end of 2024, several villages were warned by the attackers of the upcoming violence, and the leaders called the police for defense ahead of time. But they did not come, and the Christian massacres, almost customary, took place, killing hundreds in Plateau and Benue. The militant also burned down the 8 Catholic churches of St. Mary's Parish in the Diocese of Boko, which in Benue State, as well as the parish house, clinics, schools, and other houses. We live in fear because at any point it can be our turn to be killed, but to remain silent is to die twice. So, I have chosen to speak. I speak on behalf of the millions who are in the camps. I speak on behalf of those whose loved ones have been killed, but no one has even offered a word of consolation to them. I speak on behalf of the thousands of young girls who have been adopted and raped because no one, not even the media, mentions them anymore. Foremost, I speak on behalf of my flock who are unable to worship freely and unable to return to their ancestral farms and homes because that land has been ruthlessly taken from them by the armed herdsmen. I request and I plead and ask you to redesignate Nigeria as a country of particular concern.
The bishop there requesting for Nigeria to be redesignated as a country of particular concern. Well, the bishop's testimony highlights the deep contested narrative around religious violence in Nigeria. While the bishop presents specific allegations of systematic targeting, government officials maintain that terrorism affects all Nigerians regardless of faith. This leaves international observers to navigate the competing accounts of Nigeria's complex security challenges. And Rufai, so we've seen the bishop here and, other senators in America and, journalists across the globe submitting these sort of reports of what the bishop has described as a cleansing of Christians in the farmlands in his area. You heard him cry out. And we've seen these reports reverberate across the world right now after Trump's singular tweet. Your thoughts? People have said, Trump didn't have evidence, Trump doesn't have information, but we don't have the information that the U.S. Department of State has at this moment.
Oji, God bless you for playing that tape. But you see, after playing that tape, I will still tell you that what that priest did report is still under-reporting because many of the cases are not reported. I read out a message about a vicar in Kaduna today, 600 million being asked. Many cases like that. But Oji, because I know the country I am from, I keep saying, let us stop the killings. And the state does not act as a deterrent from them to keep committing that crime. That's what I have a problem with. So that's why I campaign for stopping the killing. Because in the last 1 week, the conversation has shifted to which religion is being killed the most. And please, we should never fall into that confusion because it's that kind of confusion the political actors want. In all of this, none of them have come out to say these are the advised steps we are going to take to stop the killings. The conversation has been call Trump a liar, pit religions against each other, make a case that others too are being killed. But does it stop the killing of people? No. It doesn't. So please, the charge for the Nigerian government today, and the charge for everybody, Christians and Muslims and Shakmono worshippers and Ifa worshippers, we should all be united. We are all Nigerians. All right. The question is, how can we stop this killing? Right. The government should be charged to stop this killing. Right. If they're going to employ more military, if they're going to employ more security architecture, stop the killing. That's all we want.
That's the main point. And it is quite, it was good to see the federal government engage with journalists yesterday during that press conference. And I believe that the minister is saying that Nigeria is willing to collaborate, which is the main point that I keep stressing here with, the United States states to tackle this menace. Meanwhile, the Department of State Services, in a statement on Tuesday, said that it is persecuting several high-profile terrorism suspects with multiple ongoing trials before Justice Emeka Nwite of the Federal High Court in Abuja, who has granted the DSS's request for an accelerated hearing in some cases. Among the key trials are internationally wanted suspect Mahmoud Usman, the self-styled Emir of Asari, and Abubakar Abba, his deputy, are facing a 32-count terrorism charge, with Usman already sentenced to 15 years for an illegal mining count after pleading guilty, while Abba remains a not guilty plea. Their trial is set to continue on November 19th. The secret police also highlighted the trial of Khalid al-Barwani and 4 others accused of masterminding the 2011 UN complex bombing, a case previously delayed by procedural issues. Additionally, 5 suspects involved in the June 2022 Orwa Catholic Church attack, in which over 40 people died, are standing trial on a 9-count charge and were denied bail by Justice Nwite due to the capital nature of the alleged offenses and strong evidence of their membership in the Al-Shabaab terrorist group. Lastly, the DSS stated that it filed 6 separate terrorism-related charges against 9 suspects, including 2 at large connected to the June 2025 Yelwata massacre in Benue State, while 2 others are being tried for alleged reprisal attacks. And I'll take a statement from the DSS chief. He wrote, "The various arrests and trials of terrorism suspects show that Nigeria's security agencies have been diligent in dealing with the perpetrators of terror in the country. The men we are persecuting are separate from hundreds of suspects under the military's protective custody, whose cases are being handled by the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation. In July last year, 125 of the terrorists were convicted. We shall continue to make the suspects accountable for disrupting the peace of our country in consonance with the rule of law." In the wake of China's disapproval of Trump's threat of military action in Nigeria as part of, efforts to protect Christians from persecution, a 2023 report by British newspaper The Times alleged that Chinese nationals in Nigeria's mining sector are funding terrorist groups to secure access to the country's mineral reserves. The exclusive investigation, which has resurfaced online, suggests that through bribes and illegal transactions, Beijing could be indirectly funding terror in Nigeria. Well, according to research from SBM Intelligence, a Lagos-based analytical group, Chinese companies operating in conflict zones have been striking security deals with insurgents. The report revealed videos of militant leaders boasting that Chinese workers must pay them rent to operate in their territories, particularly in Zamfara and other northwestern states. Some Chinese nationals working informally as miners serve as runners for militant groups and control gold mining operations across remote areas. The report noted that Chinese contractors often smuggle minerals out illegally, with several arrests recorded, including 27 miners in Osun State in 2020 and a Chinese citizen jailed for 5 years in October for processing 25 tons of lithium-containing minerals. Well, this investigative report adds another complex international dimension to Nigeria's security crisis. The report highlights the menace of resource exploitation, raising questions about which foreign actors are truly destabilizing Nigeria and why. Senator Adam Soshomole also accused China of stealing Nigeria's resources and arming bandits and terrorist groups to protect their illegal mining sites. The former Edo State governor made the allegations in January this year. Let's take a look.
Those involved in this illegal mining, they use choppers. They procure arms exactly the same way as our military were doing in the South. They give them arms. They use choppers to come and cut away the gold. And they take them out of this country and make billions of US dollars. And the federal government is not doing what it should be doing. I took this letter to the former president when I was national chairman of APC. And I said, call the general to give you more brief. In fact, what is happening, or what subsequently happened in that part of the country, was exactly what the general told me was going to happen. Because these guys have been weaponized by the illegal big men who deploy them, secure territories, and the weapon is meant to protect the Chinese and other foreigners who they actually employ to carry out the mining. And on occasion, they use the same weapon to carry out banditry, kidnapping, and all of the terrible things that are going on. Some retired military officers, army officers are involved in it. The day we can't tell the truth, this country cannot flourish. We can't change our You know, when it affects some people, we are at our best. We talk strong. Some other people appear to be above the law. That is what is going on with solid mineral. It is not that we don't know where it is. We have a whole survey of where we have what across the length and breadth of Nigeria.
Let me take this one. Meanwhile, former Niger Delta militant leader Asari Dokubo has issued a stark warning to Trump against any military intervention in Nigeria. Well, in a viral Facebook video, Dokubo delivered a defiant message warning that if the U.S. comes to Nigeria, they will all die, adding that Nigeria will become their graveyard. Let's take a look.
Let them come. Let Trump come with his America, and with you people, you all die. This lunatic. He wants to annex Canada. He wants Iceland. He wants to kill the president of Venezuela. He wants to kill the supreme leader of Iran. He wants to finish up Yemen. This sick lunatic. And that's why when they talk about America, is a sick country. A country of mad people. Insane people. And that's why they can elect a mad, insane idiot. A lunatic. Let them come down. Maybe they'll fly in the air. They will come down. When they come down, whether they will live here.
All right, Asari Dokubo.